So yeah, hi all. This is the AWS mock interview day 6. We already completed 5 mock interviews. If anyone missed it, you can check out. So yeah, hi Manjunath. Can you able to introduce yourself? So anyone watching this video on YouTube, please like this video so that we will get motivation to upload more videos.
Hi, good evening. One.
Yeah, hi, good evening Manjunath. Please, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, yes. Hi, my name is Manjunath. I've been 3 years experience in DevOps field. Previously, I've been in some X company.
Okay, you can speak
And
loudly.
okay. Hi, my name is Manjunath. I have 3 years experience in DevOps, where I've been deeply involved in transforming traditional software development and deployment process
You
into
can
efficient.
tell slowly, okay? No need to go fast because opposite person need to understand what you are telling.
Yes,
Okay?
yes, yes.
Yes. Yes,
One,
tell.
a fake mail dollar email.
Okay, okay.
Silent.
No issues. So you can left and join. I will ask other people. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, hi Abhishek. Please introduce yourself.
So, hi Pawan. I'm currently completing my BTech at MIT Pune. Uh,
Don't reveal
and
any genuine. Okay. You can tell about.
yes, and I'm doing internship at Academy Technologies from before, 2 months ago. I joined there and learned some AWS services like EC2, S3, RDS. Also, I perform CI/CD operations by using code commit, code deploy, and code build. Also, I'm trying to deploy microservices that I have built in Java using ECS and ECR. Also, I have some experience in Docker also. That's it.
Super. So thank you so much. Today we are going to discuss interview on AWS EC2. Okay. Past we have discussed 5 mock on AWS EC2 itself. Today is the final interview questions on EC2. So by this we will cover every question on AWS EC2. So by these 6 mock interviews, that is more than enough to crack any interview regarding AWS EC2 service. Okay. After EC2 service, which one should we need to focus, Abhishek, as per your experience? After EC2, which service will be better to start the mock?
So I think ES3 will be better because it uses mostly.
Okay, definitely. Then I will start preparing questions on S3. So yeah, hi Sai, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Sai. I've been 3 years experience in field in DevOps, and I've been deeply involved in transformation traditional software development and deployment process in efficient and automated pipelines. When coming to the tools which I know in DevOps is Git, Maven, Docker, Terraform, and Kubernetes, and tools that I have been integrated with modern DevOps processes. When coming to my roles, I have been instrumental in setting of continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline using Jenkins and Git, ensuring that every code changes undergoes rigorous automated testing and stream-based development to various environment. And I have worked on Docker for containerization and allowing our team to package application and dependencies into portable units that can run consistently across different environments. And I also experience in Terraform, which has been pivotal in managing infrastructure as a code, enabling us to provisioning and manage AWS resources efficiently and continuously, and not only enhancing our infrastructure stability, but also facilitates easier replication and scaling our application growth. And I've been work for AWS, which is various kinds of AWS services like EC2, S3, RDS, EKS, and I've been implemented infrastructure automation using AWS Cloud Formation and Terraform. And I also worked on Grafana and Prometheus for monitoring tool. That's it, bro.
Okay, whatever you said, right? It's like boring.
Yeah.
So whatever you said, opposite person cannot able to understand and like that. So anyone? So Sunil, do you want to add something? So did you get it? What he said?
So actually, just now I joined. So
Yeah, okay. Like whatever you have listened right out of that. So Aniseti, do you want to add?
Yeah, he's speaking very hurriedly, very he's talking, and other person is cannot understand anything.
And did you get Sai?
Yes, bro.
So you need to improve.
I will.
సో
Yes.
ఆపోజిట్ పర్సన్కి అర్థం కావాలి మనం ఏం చెప్తున్నాము ఏంటి అనేది. ఆపోజిట్ పర్సన్కి అర్థం
Yes, I will
కాలేనప్పుడు మనం ఎంత చెప్పినా
best.
ఓకే, బట్ మనం కంటిన్యూస్గా అటెండ్ అయితే నేర్చుకుంటాం.
That's all.
సో యా, whoever watching video on YouTube, if you want to join live sessions, if you want to enroll for real-time training, so in the bottom you can find out the contact details. You can text me in WhatsApp. So now Anseti, please introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you giving the opportunity. My name is Aniseti Venkatesh, a DevOps engineer with 5 years of experience, currently working at 3Tech Software Private Limited in Kundapur, Hyderabad. My skill set including extensive expertise in AWS for cloud infrastructure management and Git for version control. I am well versed in continuous integration and deployment using Jenkins along with build automation through Maven. I have experience with code quality and security tools like SonarQube and JFrog, as well as configuration management using Ansible. In the realm containerization, I work with Docker, Kubernetes for orchestrating, scaling application. My proficient in infrastructure as a code demonstrate through my use of Terraform. Additional, I'm skilled in shell scripting to automate tasks and utilize Prometheus and Grafana for monitoring and visualization. My background equips me to drive efficiency and reliable DevOps practices in any dynamic environment. That's it, my side.
Okay, so you didn't even prepared, I think. Okay, you are speaking very slow, and it is like you are reading something. So I already said you need to practice. Did you practiced this total introduction part or not? Hello.
Yes, yes, I'm practiced.
After today mock interview morning, after morning, did you practiced?
Yeah, I practice
Okay, how many times you have practiced?
10 times.
Sorry,
10 times. 10.
sorry.
10 times. 10 times.
Okay, Sunil, do you want to give him any feedback?
yeah, sir.
Yeah, please.
Actually, he is speaking very slowly. So that is he wants to improve.
So
We are
Uncity,
making
like you are,
comment.
yeah, you are speaking very slowly, and it should be interesting. Okay, once check the mock interview. Once I update in the YouTube, right, you will get to know how you are performing.
Okay, definitely, bro.
So you need to improve a lot. Sunil, please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Sunil, a software engineer with 5 years of experience in the IT industry. My expertise spans several critical areas of modern software development and operations. I'm a proficient in a version control using a Git and have a hands-on experience with a continuous integration through a Jenkins. In terms of a containerization management, I utilize Ansible to streamline processes. And my skills also include containerization with Docker and Kubernetes, enabling efficient deployment and scaling of applications. For monitoring and logging, I rely on a Grafana to ensure a system performance and reliability. Additionally, I leverage the infrastructure as a code, uh, Terraform and cloud formation to automate and manage infrastructure development efficiently. I'm a proficient about leveraging these tools to build scalable, reliable, and efficient software systems. And this is all about it.
So you need to end opposite person how they will get to know. So out, so you are performing very well, Sunil. Okay, out of all, you performed very well. You need to improve. Okay, and you need to speak confidently, loud and confidently. Okay,
Yeah, sure. Next interview,
you
I will
just
better myself.
practice. Okay, practice. Now whatever you said to me, you practice it again in front of mirror. Okay. So
Yeah.
hi Rishabh, please introduce yourself. You can mute yourself, Sunil. So hi Rishabh, can you please introduce yourself? You are on mute. Okay, shall we start today's mock?
Yes, sir, we can start.
Okay, I will share my screen. So what is an elastic network interface? How is it used in EC2 instances? If you want, if you know, just respond. So every mock interview I cannot able to tell, right? I said you need to participate. This is for you. These mocks are conducting for you, not for me. You need to speak out. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, if you don't know what I said,
Sir, actually, I am not aware of this question.
yeah, yes, at least if you need to participate. If you don't know, you can mention, right? So, what are the steps to
As for
encrypt a EBS volume attached to an EC2 instance? Okay, there is a EBS volume has been attached to an EC2 instance. How you will encrypt that EBS volume? Anyone? Okay. How do you enable CloudWatch logging for an EC2 instance? So what is the difference between EC2 instance store and EC2 backend AMS? So how can you troubleshoot an EC2 instance that is not booting up correctly? Nothing but your instance is not running. How you will troubleshoot?
Sir, we can check the network part, whether the network inbound rules, the port SSH port is enabled or not, and check the instance check two by two check. status we have to check.
No, I'm not asking you to log into inside the server. I'm asking you how you can you troubleshoot an EC2 instance that is not booting up correctly. Server itself not booting up. Okay. What are the best practices for securing an EC2 instance?
To
For securing EC2 instance, we can use security group in it.
Yes, you are right. So what are the ports required for an EC2 instance? You need to allow that
So security
port itself. So what are reserved instances? How do they differ from on-demand instances? This one already discussed.
NACL. Yes.
yes,
Yes, anyone respond?
I
What are reserved instances and how they differ from on-demand instances? Sunil, Rishabh,
yes, sir.
this
Uh,
one you know about it.
can I?
Yes,
On-demand instances are pay-as-you-go money, sir. Like while reserved instances are prepaid, 1 year or 3 years we have to purchase the
super.
instances.
Yeah, you are right. How do you configure and use EC2 auto scaling lifecycle hooks?
I'm not aware of this.
So what is an well like what are elastic IP addresses? How do they work with EC2 instances? This
Sir,
is very
elastic
simple.
IP addresses are nothing. Yeah, elastic IP address are nothing but like this is a dynamic IP address in the AWS, which is IP version 4, and this IP is not. Um, this is the constant IP address. It will not change while stopping the instance and while start the instances. The IP address remains the same.
Okay. Anyone want to add something to this? Rishabh, Sai.
Elastic IP is like a static IP. Whenever the we when we are using the EC2 instance, it will be the permanent IP for
Super.
instance
Yes,
or
you
for
are right.
service.
You are right. So Rishabh,
Yes, like it is used for high availability by associating it to standby instance in different availability zones.
super. Abhishek, Aniseti.
Yes, sir. In fault tolerance, if any instance get any issue, then we can use the same IP address for newly created. So elastic IP address is used for this.
Okay. Aniseti, do you want to add?
Yeah, electricity address we connect to another SSH port number. It is to securely. I mean Linux servers we attach there.
Okay. So how do you migrate an on-premise application to an EC2 instance? Nothing but in your physical server it is running. Now you need to migrate to an EC2 instance. This is one of the real-time interview question. How you will do that? Whatever you get from you inside your mind, just tell. So then after we will check the answer. Anyone want to try?
I don't know about that also.
What is a EC2 dedicated host? How does it differ from dedicated instances? How do you use EC2 run command to manage instances? What is the difference between an EC2 instance and a container? And when would you use each? Nothing but a container and a server. Difference between a container and a server virtual machine.
Sir, container is a lightweight, but the EC2 instance is like a this is a VM, right? So it has a operating system and everything.
Container will also have an operating system.
But lightweight.
EC2 is an web server and container is an application.
EC2 web server, container is an application, right?
I asked you something.
Yeah, sir. Container basically like EC2 is a VM which is fully isolated. In VM, some of the system libraries are used from host machine, so it is lightweight. And in EC2, it is fully isolated. So yes, whatever libraries is required, it should have to run an application. But in container, we can use the libraries from host machine. So that is different.
Sunil, in every interview they will ask what is the difference between a container and a VM.
Okay, sir.
Sunil, are you there? Rishabh,
Yes, sir. Yes,
do you want to
sir.
add?
Yes,
Please go ahead.
like we create this container from a Docker file, whereas EC2 instance we create from GUI.
Sorry, come again. I
Because
didn't get you.
containers are created from containers are created from like images, so it is like
EC2 instance
create
is
once
also
and use
created from images itself. AMI image. We select AMI right while creating EC2 instance.
okay. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
both are same, right? Container also creatable with a image. This server also EC2 instance is also created with image. So Aniseti, do you want to add something? What is the difference between virtual machine and a container? So I said you a trick, but no one is utilizing. You can Google it right simultaneously whenever asking someone else. Aniseti, you want to add?
Yes, I don't have aware of this question.
Okay. You got too much of time, right? I have asked you in the last. In between, you can able to search and you can like utilize the chance. Sai,
Yes, yes.
what is the difference between VM and container? Sunil, you Google it in the back end. I will give
EC2 is an
you time.
EC2 is an virtualization and virtual machines, and it can be managed Docker containers and applications.
Sunil,
Sir, virtual machines. Can I tell, sir?
yes, yes.
Virtual machines, EC2 instances are virtual machines that runs on a AWS infrastructure. You get access to the entire OS and can install and configure anything on it. It's a full control. Provide the complete over the operating system, include a kernel and kernel level, and it's isolated. Each EC2 instance runs isolated with a dedicated resource like a CPU, memory, and a storage. So here, container, if you talk about a container means it's a lightweight package and application and dependencies together, but share the host OS kernel. They are more lightweight and compared to the virtual machines,
What is the
compared
advantage?
to this one EC2, and it's efficiency since containers share a host kernel. They are more efficient
Okay. Aniseti, did you Google? Hello, am I audible? Hello, hello. Sai, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
These many people are there. No one is responding. So Aniseti,
Yes.
did you
Yes, yes,
Google?
Yes, yes,
Yes, you are audible.
audible.
Okay. Anyone want to tell what is the difference between this virtual machine and container? This is very important in every interview. It is most repeated question.
Yes.
Anyone want to add? Abhishek?
the difference between the container.
Yes, yes, Sai, go ahead.
Yes, sir. While creating containers, base applications. Is I'm audible, sir?
Your voice is breaking. Am I right? Anyone can able to respond? Is he audible?
Yes, Paul, now it is
Yeah, sir,
audible,
he is
Yes.
but it's taking too late.
Okay,
responding.
let us
The key
continue to next
differentiator
question.
between container and
Sorry.
virtual machine. The key differentiator between containers and the virtual machine is that utilization entire mission down to hardware layers and containers only virtualization software layers above the operating system level.
Okay. You already completed the DevOps training. I hope all are completed your DevOps training. But I don't know you cannot able to answer the
Yes.
simple basic questions. I don't know
Sir,
where
one
you are
more
from.
difference is there. Like uh,
Simple. Why we
in
use container
container,
technology?
like there are.
Container. Why we are using container technology? Simple logic. We can able to run our application on any environment. We just need to have a container need to be installed. Like for example, if you are using Docker, if we install Docker, we can able to run our container in any environment, because in container we will be having our application along with the dependencies. Okay, we can run our application without any restrictions, and container is an isolated area, and it is lightweight, and it will run directly on the kernel of the operating system. In virtual machine you will be having total operating system along with packages, right, everything. But in container you will run your application directly on the top of kernel. Main purpose was to, in olden days, due to this dependencies, application cannot able to run perfectly on virtual machines. So once the container technology was came, so along with whatever dependencies required for the application to run, we package into a Docker image, and we will utilize that Docker image to run our application rather than the environment. So how do you configure an EC2 instance for high availability? So how do you handle instance metadata in EC2, and what is its common use cases? Okay, shall we check the answers? Until here, your total EC2 service is completed. Congrats. Okay, if you want to revise, watch all day six, five. This is day 6, right? From day 1 to day 6. If you watch all day 1 to day 6 mock interviews, you will able to crack any question on EC2. Okay. Shall we check the answers? respond.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
Yes,
first,
sir. Yes.
what is an elastic network interface and how is it used in EC2 instance? So elastic network interface is a virtual network interface that you can attach to an instance in a VPC. It includes attributes such as primary private IP address and one more secondary private IP address. Elastic IP address is a MAC address and one or nothing but for EC2 instance. If you want to have a public IP address or private IP address using this ENI elastic network interface only, for an EC2 instance you will get an IP address. Okay, so why we will use elastic network interface? And you can have multiple elastic network interfaces to your EC2 instance. If one elastic interface fail, another will be available. So for high availability, attach a second ENI to an instance to create redundancy. So you can move this ENIs to associate elastic IP between instances. Use multiple ENIs for different network traffic paths. So what are the steps to encrypt an EBS volume attached to an EC2 instance? First, you need to create a snapshot. Nothing but go to EC2 console, select a volume and create a snapshot. Copy the snapshot with encryption. Select the snapshot, click actions, copy, enable encryption and select the encryption key. So then after, use the new encrypted volume from the snapshot. Okay. Stop the instance, detach the encrypted volume and attach the new encrypted volume. Okay, first what you will do, you will create a snapshot with encryption from your old volume. Then after, you will detach your old volume and you will attach the encrypted volume to your EC2 instance. How do you enable CloudWatch logging for an EC2 instance? Okay, download and install CloudWatch logs agent on an EC2 instance. Create a configuration file defining log files to monitor and log groups to send data. So start the CloudWatch logs agent to begin monitoring and sending logs. So this is the configuration file. So what is the difference between EC2 instance store back EC2 backed AMIs? So instance store backed AMI boot from instance store volumes, which are temporary storage. Data is lost if the instance is stopped or terminated. Faster instance launches time. Boot from EBS volumes, where are persistent storage. Data persists even if the instance is stopped and started again. Slower instance launch time and more data durability and flexibility. So if you are using EC2 instance stored backward, here your performance will be huge. Okay, your performance will be good, and once the server EC2 instance is stopped, your data will be lost. But here EBS, you will be having separate AMI. Here the boot time will take a hell lot of time, but your data will be preserved even if you restart your server. Okay, that is the main difference. Instance store nothing but for instance level you will get a right temporary storage. Yes or no? Whenever you create an EC2 instance, you will get a volume or not, temporary volume. That is a EC2
Yes.
instance. You can attach a one more volume. Yes or no? That is a EBS backed volume.
Yes.
How can you troubleshoot an EC2 instance that is not working correctly? So you need to go to EC2 console, view the instance systems log. Use EC2 instance connect or another SSH method to access the instance. So instance connect or other SSH method, not SSH method, another. Verify security group and network ACL. Review instance status checks for hardware and software issues. So detach the root EBS volume, attach it to another instance for the investigation, fix issues and reattach to the original instance. Okay, whatever the instance EBS volume you have, you can attach to the other EC2 instance. Then there you can able to troubleshoot, and then after you can attach it back to this. So what are the best practices for securing an EC2 instance? Use IAM roles, enable encryption, you regularly update your EC2 instance, create a security group, create a monitoring. Okay, use AWS key management service to encrypt your keys. So difference between reserved instance, for reserved instance you will be having a commitment of 1 to 2 3 years. In on demand you will pay per hour. So this is the difference, you can read it out. How do you configure an EC2 auto scaling? Lifecycle hooks. Create lifecycle hooks in the auto scaling group. Create lifecycle hooks for instance launch or instance terminate. Set up an SNS topic or SQS queue to receive notification when the hook is triggered. So create lambda function or script to perform actions when the hook is triggered. So example use case, for instance terminate hook, we use a lambda function to backup instance data before termination. Nothing but my server is running. If something happens, I want to take a backup of the EC2 instance. At that time, you can use a lifecycle hook. How you will do that? You will go to your auto scaling group. You will create a lifecycle hook, instance launch and instance terminate. You will choose a notification using SNS, simple notification service. Okay, using lambda function, you can trigger that. Whenever there is a EC2 instance stopped, lambda will send a notification to the SNS topic. What are elastic IP addresses? How do they work with EC2 instances? Elastic IP address is nothing but permanent IP you will get. Okay, public IP address that can allocate or associate to EC2 instance. They allow maintain static IP address. This one already answered by many people. How do you migrate an on-premise application to an EC2 instance? So first you need to choose the instance type, right? So thereafter you need to create a VPC subnet, security groups and IAM roles. So use AWS data migration service or other tools to migrate data to AWS. Okay, install the application on EC2 instance. Configure the environment including software dependencies and configuration. Thoroughly test the application and ensure it works as expected in the new environment. So switch traffic to new EC2 instance and monitor for any issues. Simple, whatever the software you are running on the on-premise, same software, same configuration you will be installed in your EC2 instance. Once it is running perfectly, then you can shut down your on-premise and you can run this, utilize this. So what is EC2 dedicated host and dedicated instances? So dedicated host nothing but you will get a physical server, fully dedicated server. Okay. Allows more control over instance placement and compliance with license requirement. Supports bring own license. Dedicated host instances that run on hardware dedicated to a single customer do not provide visibility or control over the physical server. So in one physical server, you can what they can able to do, they can create multiple virtual machines for different customers. Okay, but in a dedicated host, you will get a physical server only for you. No one else can able to create anything on that your physical server. Nothing but a rack. You will get a separate rack for you. In dedicated instances, in the top of one rack, you can create 10 like many instances. One instances will be one customer, another instance will be another customer. Okay. How do you use EC2 run command to manage instances? So you need to install SSM agent, create an IAM role. You need to execute this command. So run script and commands remotely, automate common administrative tasks, collect logs and inventory data. So for collecting the logs for running the scripts, you can able to use this run command. So what is the difference between EC2 instance and a container? Okay, EC2 instance, virtual server running a full operating system. Suitable for application, requires complete control over the operating system and environment, offers persistent storage, option like ABS. Lightweight, standalone executable package containing everything needed to run a piece of software, including the code, runtime libraries and dependencies. Uses less overhead and starts faster than full VMs. So ideal for microservices and application requiring rapid scaling and deployment. Okay, you can scale containers easily. EC2 instances use for application needing full OS control. Use for microservices. Container will be used for microservices. How do you configure an EC2 instance for high availability? Use multi-availability zone, load balancing, auto scaling, monitoring and alarms, data application. So how do you handle instance metadata? So you can read it out, all these things. Okay, that's it for this. So in the next we will start on AWS S3. Okay.